Okay, greetings. Here we are. Make more money workshop. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is really important because when you have more cash flow, you have more currency, you have more current in your business. And I, like you, I'm not really driven by a numbers per se, but I am driven by what money can do for me and for my community and for my ability to make an impact. So, this is kind of the tone for today. I know many coaches are not really I hate to say it, but like money driven. And so I'm just kind of taking a little curiosity here and I want to stop the sharing, but just give me a little raise of hands or, of course, unmute yourself. I'm not saying that money is not important, but what's your thought about money quickly when it comes to, hey, does money really drive you in your business? Yeah, I know this. Yeah. I already know this already. The kind of a masculine energy, so to speak, is like the number, the number, the number. I got to make the number, la la la. And I think we women coaches, this is a big, broad generalization, it's not our primary thing, right? Okay, jump in. Maybe if you've got a point of view on this, we know it's important. And yeah, yeah, Susan, please jump
I
in.
I think when you make it the only goal is the issue. I
Yeah,
think there's the understanding of it as necessary to do many things, and that if you approach it as it's the tool to accomplish more, it becomes less about making it about the money and more about what you can do with the money.
love it. Thank
It's
you,
it's
thank you.
gas in the tank. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
it's necessary. We can't, we wouldn't even be, or at least I wouldn't even be trying to do this if there wasn't a profit motive. But of course, that's not the only motive. I would have given up by now if it was the only motive.
right. Angela, thank you, thank you. And when I see this and when I see all of you in the near future, this thing is really cool. It's a golden $1 million bill. It's not real, but it could be, okay, got it. When I think about this is not the thing that gets me excited, but the thing that gets me excited is what could I do with $1 million? I could do this. I could do this. I could hire people. I could start a campaign. I could like do a lavish event with my clients. We could put on like robes and go to a spa and get our toes done and like be together, sisterhood. So I'm holding up a little gold $1 million bill. So do you agree? It's like money, it's the tool that it is. And Angela, you said it very, very well. Yeah. Take yourself off mute. And I know, Deb, you're jumping in here. We got a lot of us jumping in on the chat. Thank you. Yep. Want to get your point of view on this. We're
the
not,
first,
yeah, please come on. Mhm.
I mean, the first thing that crosses my mind when I think of, if somebody dropped $1 million in the bank, is paying off my house
There you go.
and
There you go.
then putting money in an account so that I would be able to, to sustain myself for a year or more until this business got off the ground.
Yeah.
And then after I do that, invest in the business, invest in trips, invest in in-person networking, invest in hiring the team that I need to get things done more quickly than I do. It really is. It's first about building security, and then it's about building foundation at this point.
Yes.
And yeah, the number doesn't excite me. When we talk about, we're going to make, $355,000 in 2027, that number doesn't excite me. It's what that number represents that excites me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And Angela, are you caffeinated already? Because we can hear things are really moving on your end.
I got my my cup of major D's, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Good, thank you. Hey,
and I can't wait for Saturday. By the way,
okay,
I got a lot to share on Saturday. So
okay, cannot wait to.
all
Good,
right.
thank you, thank you. Hey, so also Angela's bringing up, I think for all of us, Jillian, we want you to jump in, and Molly as well, and of course Deb. It's also that the money is the fuel to having the things that we really want in life, and it's okay to want things, right? It is okay. It's okay to love beautiful hats, keep my pretty hats close by. It's okay to love a little sparkle. It's okay to, that's what life is all about, right? Yeah, to enjoy life. Yes. Jillian, jump in. Molly, jump in. Money, 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 money.
So this is really relevant to something I've been thinking about this week. So totally separate story for another day, but 10 years ago when I moved, I lost everything. So I've had to rebuild. And over the years, I've had people give me like dishes and just I've gotten stuff from estate sales and you buy a lot, you don't know what's in it, and then there's like all this stuff, right? So I have stuff that's worth some money just sitting in cabinets. Not a ton of money, but I would make a profit if I like sold it on eBay.
Mhm.
For the longest time, I'm like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't care. I'll collect them. I want them there. I don't want to lose anything. But as I've been reading more books about, being in the CEO space and being a leader and things that are going to benefit me and my business, and I technically don't need to do this. Like, I have the money to get this stuff anyway, but I'm kind of like, okay, there's an opportunity sitting in my cabinet. I could sell that, take that money, buy that book, use that money for my business, use the money for my business to do whatever I want to do.
Yes.
So when you have that opportunity and you're kind of creating it for money, for the all the things,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it's kind of weird
The,
that you're bringing it up now because I'm literally all day I'm like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I?
Okay.
the other
So
part of
We're
that,
going to talk
Jillian,
about that. Good. Yeah.
yeah, it's creating space for more.
yeah,
It's the not holding on for the wrong reason.
yeah,
It's that energetically, sometimes when we hold on to things out of that, maybe I'll want it later, it's creating more of the not making space for something else to move in.
yeah. I agree.
And I think there's that letting go that becomes an important part of moving things forward at times.
I agree totally.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, we got all kinds of stuff in our metaphoric cabinets, right? Our stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk today about how do we bring these things out into the world and exchange value so that we can make more money. And there's such a distinction between earning more money, which is typically the corporate kind of mindset. I want to earn more money to earn a promotion. Well, guess what? As entrepreneurs, you're all an entrepreneur. We get to make money. We get to make money out of the work we do, who we are, our point of view, our mindset, our thought. You're all doing things, you're creating groups and bodies of work out of like thin air, but it's out of your energy, out of your passion, out of your IP, out of your brain, out of your life force energy. It's really exciting, right? When you think about that. Yes. Yeah. Carol, jump in. Molly, jump in. Your thoughts about money. Money, money, money. If I gave you $1 million today, which I would love to do, is, what would you do with it?
The thing that's coming to mind, and Jillian, I appreciate what you just shared, is I've been thinking about as a CEO, how do I do things differently and think differently? And I too have been wondering, okay, how do I do my money differently as a CEO? What is like I
Mhm.
need to shift my thinking a little bit. And I'm just thinking about like what is this? And I have an opportunity where I love to donate things. I love to give things away. I love to donate them, and it makes me feel good. But I'm suddenly like, huh, we have like garage sale weekend outside my window here, and I'm like, well, why don't I just sell my stuff and make money? And I actually wrote that CEO, like make money through all sorts of different opportunities. And if that's like a shift, is it be looking for ways to make money versus just, giving things away
Ding, ding,
and,
ding, 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 right?
and being charitable. Like I'd love to be charitable and generous,
Yes.
but where's the boundary? Where's the boundary in my business? Am I being too charitable and too generous, giving things away when really I should be making money?
There you go. Wow. Excellent. Excellent. See, look at this conversation because Molly, also what I love about everything that you all are saying is as a CEO, a chief executive officer of your business, we're moving from being a coach or a consultant, which are great things, moving into being the CEO. If a CEO of a company would give away so much, give away, they wouldn't have the resources to actually build a business, not a hobby. So that's the trap that many of, I will just say many coaches and consultants get into is we come from a helping mindset. We come from a helping heart. And also we just love to do it. Don't we? We just love to be helpers. And if we're then not exchanging value, and today we're going to talk I've got some incredible things about what could be in the way of us asking for and receiving the exchange and the currency that we deserve. So this is really important. So yeah, great, Molly, bringing up fabulous things, spurred on by Jillian, Susan, Angela. Yes, yes. Carol, your point of view, your beloved, bringing you coffee. That's worth $1 million, isn't it? That's what a beautiful thing. And we know it's really good coffee too.
Lovely. It's lovely. So, one of the things that I think in terms of, wouldn't it be nice to sell all my stuff at the garage sale is as a CEO, how much time do you want to spend, earning $20? I mean, really think about that.
And
So
you have kids that can help, right, Molly? You have little entrepreneurs that could help you. They could
That's
run
one of
that
those
thing.
things that gets delegated to them. You do this.
Yes, 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 yeah. But what a great point is being discerning about how do we use our time. I mean, yeah, doing that kind of, if we did the whole garage sale and we made a couple $100, it's great, super great. And at the same time, gosh, I could invest that time and put it towards getting some new clients, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just an exchange. There's no right or wrong, but yeah, great point though, Carol. Yeah. 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 Good. Good. Anything else you wanted to share, Carol, about money, about, you're so heart-centered, you're so giving, you are so how does that impact asking for money for your services?
yeah, that is hard for me. That
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So, and when you posed that you could give me $1 million, what would I do with it? I'm thinking, well, how many wells could I support
Ooh.
in Africa? How many villages could I save? Um, how many babies wouldn't die this year because of that? And so, yeah, um, but in general, when money is not at all flowing through my organization, it does make me feel poor, even though I am not poor. It narrows my scope of vision.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yes. And uh, the world needs for us to feel and be prosperous. So we feel that we are resourced enough. We've
Yes.
got so much gold in our business and our life that we can continue to keep the flow going, right? If a spigot is closed off, how can we do our good work, right? It's yeah, it's powerful. Yes. Deb, jumping in. Thank you, Carol. Beautiful what you just said. Everything. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah. All of this is just absolutely wonderful. It reminds me of a time years ago when I was in discussions with someone to be a keynote speaker for a conference they were having. And, things were going well. And then I said what my fee was. And I got dead silence on the other side of the phone. And she finally, she sputtered a little bit. And then she said, we didn't think you charged because you love what you do.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, well, you're right. I do love what I do, but I can't pay my mortgage with that.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So, Deb, really appreciate everything you said. And, it's also we're dealing with, in our helping profession, we're helpers, we're visionaries, we're leaders. We make a difference on the planet. Sometimes there's confusion that should be tithed all the time, right? And I'm also curious before we move on here, one of the things that's emerging for me, and I would love to share this with you, is when I say I'd like to give you $1 million today, I'm just wondering if one of the first shifts we could have is instead of saying, what could I do with that $1 million for others? I'm wondering if we could pause and just think, what serves me first? What serves me first? I mean, even that pause in just asking the question, because I immediately think, gosh, what could I do in the world? What could I all these type of things? Then I'm training myself to stop and say, okay, Kathleen, you come first here now. And I have to resource myself first. And it's not selfish to do that. It's okay to do that. So just wondering through today and if perhaps even that just little subtle shift would be helpful. Yeah. Okay. Comments, questions before we move forward. Okay. Gosh, we're just at our little yes, exactly. Right. That's exactly it. Which would be resourcing yourself, Molly, to hire a team to do those things. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel too. Okay. It's a gift to myself to do that.
Well,
Okay.
and I think it's important to realize what are those things that are important to you so that you
Yes.
spend the money. I mean, like Angela talked about the security she would feel knowing she had the house and living expenses covered before she put it into things that would grow the business, because then that wouldn't be, one of those monkey mind things in the back of her mind distracting her. Where somebody else would say, no, I'm going to put it to the front of the business because I'll figure out how to make more. And both of those become valid solutions because they represent how that individual focuses in their life to make things work for them at their best, instead of saying, this is the way I do it, you all need to do it my way.
Perfect, Susan. Yes. 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 And thank you. And how about if we start with a perspective of resource thyself? With everything that we're doing today is how can I resource myself first? And I will just say as a generalization, and after doing now literally 15 calls with women of distinction honorees in my beautiful, beautiful community, this wonderful award in its 12th year, and I have coached and mentored hundreds of women, hundreds from the past 12 years. And the common theme that I'm hearing, it's so fantastic, is when they get the announcement that they've received this award, the general feeling is, ah, okay. And it's, oh crap, like, wow, okay, this is weird. I do this work because I love to do it. I don't do it because I want to win awards. I don't. And so it's this interesting thing that happens. It's a deservability, it's a recognition, it's a visibility, it's allowing the receiving, whether it's money or awards or gifts or whatever it is. And it's so fascinating. So just as a little side note, think about this for your clients. And again, just as a gender thing, I can't really say if men, feel the same way about this. Please we'll do our research. But a curious question to think about is, with your ideal clients, are they allowing themselves to receive the goodness in the world, to receive, and even are they allowing themselves to receive your coaching and your guidance? Sometimes clients will put up the veil. They'll put on a smiling face to you, and they'll just say, and I've done this before, I like your idea, but I'm not going to do it. Sounds good for you, but you know what? I don't think I can do that. But I'm going to tell you, that's a really good idea. Okay. So there's that resistance there, right? So it's the same kind of resistance to allowing and to change and to transformation. And very, very good. And as Susan said, hey, everybody will take this however they take it, but resource thyself. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, who's already received? We're giving and receiving, right? You're all giving and you're all receiving, right? We're doing this. How many of you have received and given in our time together? We're like, yeah, a few minutes. Yes. Excellent. Okay, great. So let's continue to jump in, because I want to give you an experience. And again, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Hey, I'm a recovering overgiver. I just want to tell you, a recovering overgiver. And I am transforming into being a gracious receiver. So there we go. Okay. And part of this is very interesting. My little screen here. Okay, I have a little foreign language coming up here. Hey, part of today's topic is all about corporate clients. How about VIP clients and premium clients? We're going to talk a little bit about, how to attract and how to get those kinds of clients to make more money. But also, this is mainly about how do we release the energetic blocks and the resistance to doing it. Okay. So if I look at this list, and just to be completely straightforward with you, if I looked at all these clients, and I at one time in my career would say, you'll be working with Best Buy, you'll be working with Walgreens, State Farm Insurance, Kraft Foods, there would have been a time in my life when I would have said, oh no, I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm deserving of that. I don't think, what do I have to tell them that would be worth it to them? I don't even know the first thing to do to get in there. And there was a time when I thought all of that, not now. And hence, that's why I'm sharing all this. So, what you think, the point is, whatever you think is your $1 million opportunity or your $1 million big dream thing that you want to do in your business, it could start with, I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can do that. And today we're going to release the blocks to that. Okay. And today is all about money. Yes, it is. Okay. We know logically that VIP clients that want to work with you, that want to hire you, that want to engage with you, communities, whether they're VIP one-on-one, whether they're corporate consulting, whatever it is, they're there. Okay. We don't need to cite the statistics. All this. And what's also happening in the workplace. So whether you're working with folks one-on-one and they're in corporate, or they're working for an association, organization, government, education, they're dealing with all the stuff that's happening. Okay. And if they're an entrepreneur, that we're dealing with all this stuff as well. So the economy, life is in session. And of course, we know that engagement and lack of engagement in every area of life is now, being discussed, and it's up in the world, right? I don't know about you, but this week after the holiday, I've noticed that there are some people that are very tired. In spite of having Monday as a holiday and wonderful Memorial Day honoring our fallen heroes, there are people that are tired. And have you noticed that this week? Seems to be a little bit of like, I need more than a day, to recuperate. So we're building our businesses on top of a layer of people, human beings who are not generally resourced. Okay. They're in the process of quietly quitting. They're in the process of getting quietly fired. And of course, loneliness. This is also Mental Health Month. So people are feeling a sense of lostness and tiredness and loneliness, but at the same time, experiencing a sense of optimism and hope and positivity and all kinds of things. So we've got people in every place of life. Okay. And what I know for sure is meeting the moment is people are generally feeling a sense they're out on their own in a boat in the middle of a storm, right? And so no matter what it is, and you then get to be the lighthouse. And this is a common theme that we use in our council is being a lighthouse. Okay. So today our program is about resourcing you. When you're resourced and when you are able to have the life that you want to have and do the work you want to do and make the difference, and you've got the resources, the finances, the energy, the positivity, the training, the education, the community, the sisterhood, all of that, you can shine your light. Okay. So today is specifically in the next 45 minutes. We have a lot of work to do here. And this is going to be fun is thinking about not only just making more money, it's looking at, let's just say hypothetically, till the end of the year or a year from now or whatever your time frame is. And you don't necessarily have to share this number, but I want us to think about what could be a number that you're going for in your business. As Molly so astutely said at the beginning of our time together is, as a CEO, we got to know the numbers, right? We've got to know what we're going for. And so I'd like for you to take a moment and think about what's a number. It could be a swag, could be something that you've worked on that and again, we don't need to get into sharing that unless you want to, of course. But what would be a number that you would like to focus on, let's say from now until December 31st? Okay. Or if a year's time helps you. And so I'd love for you to just take a moment and think about what's the number, since we have already declared that a number is the thing that resources and fuels our business, right? Okay. So, anybody have any questions about that? Any comments about that? Okay. All right. I'm going to do this as the same thing. All right. Okay. And if you feel that perhaps you might be feeling a little bit of a reaction to even doing that, guess what? You're in the right place. Okay. All right. And so part of this is thinking about what's the reason that you want this number. And we've talked about this in other programs, but I'm just kind of taking a moment and reiterating this is taking a moment and thinking about, hey, why is that number important to you now? And what's your why about it? And I would love to just take a moment and think about this for yourself. The number, why is it important to you? And ultimately, like, what's your why about it? Okay. And I'm going to just put on literally just a couple minutes of writing music. So the assignment is write down the number on a sheet of paper, type it in your computer, whatever it is, think about it in your head, whatever it is, the number, why it's important to you, and what's your why about it. Okay. So let me put on a little bit of writing music and just thinking about that why. Literally just a couple minutes. What's that why? Another minute and dream a little bit. Nice. And that is our beautiful chorus. Love that. That's nice. So, what are your thoughts? If you'd like to share, wonderful, no requirement to, but what are your thoughts about a number and what you'd like to do this year with the number that you created? Just kind of generally, what would you like to do this year? I'm viewing, yes, thank you. I am viewing that I want a swimming pool. I want a swimming pool. I want a home with a swimming pool. And I want to be able to work by my pool. I want to invite all of you over to my home with my pool. And I can look at the pool and I can say, I created that. I created that pool with my resources, financially free, home paid for, and I created that with my resources. So that's one thing comes to mind. So I'm thinking about that pool. I'm thinking about it a lot, not while driving or operating heavy machinery, but I'm thinking about that pool. Yeah. So I'm gathering pictures of pools, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So Carol, you had your hand up. Please share.
Okay, so I named a number and I said, my why is because I'm ready to be fully recognized for the value that I bring and to own that recognition, not in just reputation, but in revenue. I want to feel, see, and bank that truth because I'm worth it.
Excellent. Oh my gosh. So let's lean in and affirm for you, Carol, that this is happening. It's happening. And bank it. That's one of the big things that I got from what you shared is banking it, right?
Yeah. Well, then the other thing I was going to do is reinvest in my or invest in my infrastructure so that I could
Yes.
scale and make my money more easily because I would have systems and people and all of that.
Fantastic. Ease and flow and systems and foundation and all of these good things, right? Yeah, very, very nice. Great. Oh my goodness. Hey, I could get it. I'm enrolled with Carol's vision. I'm sure you are too, right? Yes, yes, great. Thank you. And so it is, Carol. Yes, good. Who's next? What's your vision, your why for just this year? We're just dreaming. We're not even talking about the how to do it yet, but it
Yeah.
starts with, hey, what do I want? Why do I want it? Yeah, thank you. Jump in. Yeah, Molly, please.
I think I've mentioned this before. I want to replace my salary. I want to be full-time, the CEO of my own business. And Carol,
Yes.
what you said, recognize for the value you bring. I too wrote, I have this dollar in my head that is above my salary. And because not only does it cover my expense, it creates security and it sends a message of success and value. So
Excellent.
that is my
Excellent.
why.
And seriousness, Molly, right? That you are serious about this. Yeah, you're making it happen and you're giving value. And for all of us, we're also receiving. We're giving and we're receiving It's a validation, isn't it, for all of us too? Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
Molly. And so it is. We're sparkling for you.
I'm with
Yeah.
Molly. I want to be able to quit my day job and become the full time real life access queen.
On your throne, Angela. On that real access throne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. Great. And so you're starting to feel this, aren't you all? You're starting to feel this is like bubbling up. It's like, it's exciting, right? It's exciting. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. And so it is for you. Yes. Yeah. Jillian, if you'd like to share, Susan, if you'd like to share, we'd love to hear you. We want to, because there's something about speaking it out into the world, isn't there?
So I
Jump
can
in.
share. So I can share this experience I had at Dagmar Fleming's money class. So not to like, spill the beans on her class. I highly recommend it. But she did have an exercise similar to this, where you wrote down a low number and a high number.
Mhm.
And it just kind of engaged on like, what are you more afraid of? What are you more attracted to? Where's the tension? And I was the only one that had tension with the lower number.
Mhm.
And I was attracted to the higher number. Everyone else was opposite. So working with
Interesting.
her, I've really had those higher numbers on my brain,
Mhm.
and
Fantastic.
not to be like, sounding selfish, but like I want to make it because I want to make it.
There
Like
you go. There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
allowed to do it.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Jillian, excellent. And no excuses, right? It just is like, hey, we can all just declare it, right? And with no explanation or excuses, right? Just
mhm.
declaring it. Yes, exactly. Great. Fantastic. We're sparkling and sending it to you. And so it is. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Susan, your thoughts.
Uh, I had, for me, I put the two numbers in there simply because one of them is really looking at capturing a bigger uh, group project or group exercise that would pay, more than four figures. Um, so that would jump to that over the next 6 months. But the 100,000 stretch is if I could do that in the next 6 months, that's the number I've had a hard time getting past for the last few years. So that's the stretch for the 6 months. But was it last week or the week before? I don't know. They're all fading into one. Um, I had done an exercise for myself one middle of the night, and it had projected that I could create 2 to 8 million in what I was putting forth. And so to me, I first have to break that 100,000 before I put out that 2 to 8 million. So to me, it was um, eliminating debts that I know are pulling on me, but it's also that securing that next base point that's like, okay, I've conquered that one. Now let's move to the next one and let's accelerate it. But here's the thing that's come up for me for a very long time. I was managing projects that were multiple millions at the same time decades ago, and I recognize that it's just a zero behind another number. So the the piece is not about just the number, but it's about what are you doing with it. And for me, that's where I feel like I've been. Um, whether we talk about bamboo and it takes years before it sprouts, and then once it sprouts, it grows very quickly, or anything that you are planting seeds and waiting for them to really grow so you can harvest. The seeds have been planted. Now's the time to really create the harvest.
Full. Yes, exactly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, love on all that. And so it is, right, Susan? Yes, yes. So I'd love for us to take a quick break. We've got about 5 minutes. Let's take a quick little break. We're going to come back at the top of the hour, and we'll give it to like one. Now the time just changed. Okay, let's give ourselves until 2 after ish. Let's come back, and we're going to do a quick exercise that's going to help us just release what may be in the way. Okay. just a very nice, gentle thing. And then we're going to talk about tactics. Okay. We'll talk about tactics and strategies. Okay. Because I did promise some quick breaks. Okay. Hey, we can't process if we're focused on other stuff, right? Okay. All right. So let's take a quick little break. We'll come back in 5 minutes. Alrighty? Cool. All right. See you in 5. Okay, so we are continuing and took a little break. And my curious question to each of you is, we've got the number that we're thinking about until the end of the year or whatever time frame works for you. And I'd like for you to take a moment and think about the types of clients, the people that you love to work with, the work you'd like to do, the projects that excite you, and just maybe write down like 3 things, okay? Just a little short little list about the things that you want to be doing. Maybe some groups, some one-on-one retreats, corporate work, consulting. We don't have to get into the weeds about the specifics, but just a general kind of idea about the kind of things that really excite you. And just 3 things is just great to start. All right. And when you have 3, give me a little thumbs up here. Okay. Great. Great. And for this exercise we're going to do next, I'd love for you to focus in on, let's just say for today, just one thing. To the end of the year, you're going to do more than one kind of client work or project or something, but just till the end of the year, what's one thing that you'd like to focus on, you'd like to bring out to the world? It's a creation, maybe it's a movement, maybe it's a body of work. Just thinking about one thing. Everybody have at least one thing. Okay. All right. So I have 2 questions for you. 2 questions for you. And this is related to the income number that we created before. Just one thing, and you've got so many things that you want to focus on. And guess what? Even choosing for this exercise, the one thing that you'd like to focus on could feel like you're in a maze, right? It's like, oh, but I like to do this and I like to do this and I like to do this. And it's like, okay, so that's something to notice for yourself because I'm asking just choose one thing for now. Okay. So it could feel a little confusing, right? For how many of you it feels confusing? Like, oh gosh, I don't know which one to choose. I have so many. I love all this. She's making me choose. I don't want to choose. All right. Or it could feel like when you think about even the choosing of the one thing for this exercise could feel like there's like boulders in the way, rocks in the way, like, woo, I'm confused, but I don't even know I don't even know the one thing that I would choose. I don't even know how I would do it. If your mind goes to strategy, this is something to notice as well. Okay. So, what I'd like for us to do, these are all things to be noticing. There's no right or wrong, there's no shame or blame. It's just things that you want to notice. Okay. Because the analogy that's really a great analogy is all of these projects and all of this making more money is all like a rubber band. Okay. You've got this thing here, you're doing your work, and you say, okay, I'd like to stretch and I'd like to make, I don't know, 100K by the end of the year, 250, 500, 7 million, whatever the number is, and you're here, and guess what? The rubber band goes, whoa! It's like way over here. And so we're stretching ourselves and it becomes uncomfortable because where you're at and where you want to go are like probably like at the ends of the earth here. You know what I mean? Seems like it's a real stretch. Can you relate to what I'm saying? It seems like a stretch. And at the same time, it also can feel, or you can have an experience that there's something in the way of you having it, or working with those corporate clients that you want to work with, or starting that group that you want to start, or starting a movement. Okay. So I'd love for us to take just a moment. Okay. We're going to have an embodied experience here that I know is going to be very helpful for you. Okay. So I'd love for you to sit back in your chair. That's why we took the little break so we can just kind of be present and resource ourselves. And I'd like to invite you just to take a couple deep breaths in and out. And I'm sure no one is driving a car or operating any machinery right now. Even if you're watching the replay, please do not listen to this while you're doing that. Okay. Pull to the side, pause the recording. Okay. And I invite you to put your attention on, or think about what you'd like at the end of the year, December 31st, 2025, or whatever you decided, if it was a year or the end of the year, it doesn't matter. Just putting your attention on the thing you really, really, really want. Maybe it's a number, the income, the money that you'd like. Maybe it's a new group you're forming, a new corporate client you'd like, new VIP clients. You get to choose. And if you have something in mind, just give me a little nod so I know that we're together on this. Something in mind. Great. Okay. Yeah, thank you. And so thinking about that thing you really, really, really want, I'd like to invite you to also think about if there's anything in the way of you having it. If you're experiencing a block or resistance, or even the small voice that's talking to you about it. And of course, your wise adult says, oh, you can have it. You can have it. Okay, we love her. And I'm talking now to the part of you. If you'll allow me to do this, if it's safe for us to do this for you, I'm just talking now as your coach, as your advisor, as your trusted partner now. I'm talking to that part of you that may feel there's a block or resistance to the thing you want. Maybe there's confusion, worry, concern. And you're safe to just feel or experience whatever comes up for you. And start to notice what comes up for you, if it's a block or it's resistance, worry, concern, whatever it is. Start to notice it as a feeling or an emotion. Naming it helps. Naming it helps. And I invite you to notice where it's expressing itself in your body. Start to you can put your hand or your mindset on where you're expressing it in your body. And I invite you to use your powerful mind to just take your finger and just draw around the outside of whatever you're feeling or experiencing. And just notice where it is in your body. And you might just take your finger like a little pencil and draw around the outside perimeter of whatever you're experiencing. Noticing that there's an energy to it. Maybe there's a color or a sensation. And I invite you now to use your powerful mind and your powerful heart to just bring love and compassion and light to what you're experiencing. Bring love and light and compassion to that part of your body that's expressing. And perhaps you're noticing that it's also reducing in size. It's getting smaller or softer, or maybe even a little bit more calmer. And so, using your powerful mind to just keep your attention and just release whatever may be holding on to keeping that in your body. Just releasing it, letting it go, bringing love and light, compassion. Just letting go of any struggle, pushing harder, letting it be easy. Let it be easy. And so, in a moment, we'll come back to the room feeling refreshed and alert with lots and lots of energy. feeling really good in every way. And declaring that for now, you can be at peace with whatever's happening in your body. You can just let it go, release it. And just knowing that all is well. So in a moment, I'll count up to 3. And when we reach 3, feel free to come back to the room feeling refreshed and alert and feeling really good in every way. So 0 moving up to 1, 1 moving to 2, and 3 coming back. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, feeling really good in every way. Maybe a nice deep breath too, huh? Yeah. So any comments? You all look so beautiful. Notice how wonderful each of you all look so relaxed. Yeah. Yeah. I did this for myself and I realized that the pushing, the strategizing, the how, trying to figure it out was like stuck right here, stuck right here. So how could I possibly create or put together a launch plan or contact clients if I'm feeling stuck in my chest, right? Can you see that? How could I possibly do that? It's like, forcing. Yeah, let it be easy. That's right. That's my new mantra, Carol. That's it. Just let it be easy. Yeah. And if I'm feeling this stuckness in my chest, this resistance, like, oh, I don't know if they're going to pick up. What am I going to say? Ooh, we have to think that they will feel that too. They'll energetically feel it right from us. We're not a clear slate. We're not coming with full joy and full expression and full focus in on the relationship. It's like this thing is here, right? It's like a third party in the call, right? Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening for you right now? What's happening for you? What did you discover? What has transformed? Feeling a little more relaxed, I think, huh? Yeah, yeah. Molly, thank you. Yeah.
I'll say couple things like when we're what was blocking it. I felt fear. I felt like an imposter, questioning, well, who am I? Who am I? And then later it was like, just focus and do it. Just
Mhm.
create the thing, just build it. And I kind of then at that point, I kind of got angry with myself, like, and then all of a sudden after I got angry, and I was like, and you said something, and I wish I would have opened my eyes and written it down, but then all of a sudden it was like, I was just calm. I was just calm.
Mm.
And I noticed weight in my legs. That's where I felt. I felt it in my legs. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if it's it didn't feel like a weighted down, maybe maybe movement, maybe standing and fighting that who am I, that
Mhm.
imposter. There, I don't know. I'd have to explore that a little bit, but I did really feel it in my legs. So
Yeah. So let's
In
let's
body work, we frequently say it's that you're holding it there because it's that stumbling over moving forward.
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And whatever your truth is too, Molly, right? So
Yeah.
that's after we're done to really explore like what maybe talk to your legs. What are you concerned about? What are you worried about? Like speak to our body part, right? Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Just share like this. I have something like there's an aha with what you just shared. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great, great, great. Susan, thanks for that feedback too. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else?
I was surprised. For me, it was in the throat.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Been a little too quiet.
Hmm.
That's
Wow.
always where it comes for me. And
Hmm.
I think it is blocking our speech, the power of who we are and the power of naming and moving forward. Because when you are blocked in your throat, you can't speak.
Our throat chakra. We're going to do some work in the next couple months about our energetic system. And Susan, we're going to invite you to come speak and share with that because it's a very powerful thing. Our chakras. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. How can we self-express if we're feeling a constriction or resistance or something, a tightness, right? Yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong here. We don't want to make ourselves wrong or feel any, it's just, we're noticing, right? We're noticing. Yeah. Yeah. Like money, this is energy. It's all energy. Yeah. Jillian, did you want to share anything, Angela, before we move forward?
My mind always drifts away during these things, and it drifted into the dichotomy of delegation versus control. Because when you delegate to a team, you give up control over a lot of different aspects of the in my case the creative process.
Yeah.
When things get done, if you give somebody an assignment because they're uniquely qualified to do it, you give up control over when it gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to maybe sacrifice quality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you still got control. It's just a matter of what you're choose. I don't know.
Right. Right. So noticing who can relate to what
Well,
Angela's saying?
I
Yeah.
put in
Yeah.
the chat, trust in
Yeah.
their ability to deliver on a deadline.
Right. Right. And interesting to notice, Angela, what comes up in your body when you think about that too. And today was really just a kind of an introduction to all of this, but to notice what's in the way for us saying we want what we want. Because you can imagine we could spend all of our time talking about strategies and talking to people and making more money and all this. But what's in the way when it's released just opens up all kinds of opportunities, right? Notice the energy in our room now. We're in a Zoom room. My gosh, the energy seems so much softer, doesn't it? Seems really nice. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. 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 Jillian, comments before we go, sharing before we move to our next
Yeah,
topic.
so this is something that I've been dealing with, this like energetic, like trying to figure it out because, my experience is essentially created from working corporate. Like I know that world very, very well, like very high dollar value. I save companies millions, very good at what I do. I've worked on my pitching, I've researched it, I've gotten feedback. It's all good. I'm doing the posts, I'm doing the networking. I'm literally checking off all the boxes. And there's just no engagement, there's no interest, and it's like, and then so like even going through this exercise, I feel very tight in my chest, like almost like I can't breathe. Like I can breathe, I'm not, but you just get this like feeling of like, like, and I've been racking my brain for like months now. Like, what is it? I have the product, I have the things, like I deliver 100% of the time. Like, what is it? I have good recommendations. I have people, I mean, literally what it, and so all that being said, it has to be energetic. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you know, I don't know the answer to that question, Deb, but
I can totally relate to that because I've been doing some cold outreach, um, mainly to pass the time until hiring for champions gets edited, but partly to see if I can't shake loose some clients and with LinkedIn posting and everything else, it really is about you feel like you're screaming into the void, you know, hello, hello,
yeah,
hello,
and
hello.
you can kind of see like everyone that's kind of in this boat is kind of doing all the same type of posting to where LinkedIn is sort of becoming
hmm
like, okay, like,
it's like having a conversation during a rock concert.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So,
so how can we, what we just did, what we just did and experienced is a whole different approach.
yeah.
Like preparing ourselves before we make the post,
Yeah.
before we get on the phone, before we do anything, taking the time to resource yourself and release. And I'm going to follow this up with a really beautiful guided meditation that you can use to just release and clear whatever's there.
Hmm.
Right? Because if we're coming at all at this from our head space, we're thinking about it, we're planning, we're strategizing, we're talking about how many sessions and what the cost is and la la la, just all that stuff. We're probably getting the same thing on the other end from people, right? We're getting into their head space, they're getting in ours, and it's one big head space. And people make decisions with their head and then rationalize, as we know, with their emotions, right? Yeah. So,
But I'm
do
more comfortable in the headspace.
well, okay, got that. And I am asking everyone to
But
make the biggest leap. You know, this is how it goes. The biggest leap between up here or up here and here, right? The
18
biggest
inches,
gap, the biggest stretch of the rubber band
the
between the
18 inches
two.
between your head and heart.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. So,
It's
and this
gonna
is the,
snap and hit me in a part of my body that is not covered by clothing.
I'm telling you, that's it. That's
Yes.
it. That's it. So today is the
Yowza.
first of many. Yep, first of many. And you know that when we come together on Friday, the 13th of June at our all day Make More Money Summit, we're going to talk and delve more into this with a lot more tactics and strategy about what do we do. But doesn't it start with this is a whole different approach? For how many of you preparing and resourcing yourself and clearing what's in the way is a different way of doing making calls and doing things than you've been
Yeah.
doing? Okay. We know the other way is working, but maybe not working as great as we'd like. Certainly a lot harder. And this is I'm introducing and suggesting there's another path we can go down here. Yeah. Deb, would you like to comment, share? Yes.
Just real quick, because today is treatment day, I wanted to point out that sometimes our bodies are saying stop. And when your body says stop,
Do
pay
it.
attention to it.
Yeah. I agree. And my favorite book title, and I read this book in my mid-20s, so that was a very long time ago, is Don't Push the River, It Flows by Itself.
Oh,
And
I love that idea.
I frequently remind myself of that when I'm feeling like you're paddling upstream.
Yeah.
That if you would just turn around and let the river take you where it's going to take you, you might be surprised you find that destination much sooner than you thought. And my other favorite was from Matthew Ferry when he said, "Think of it like somebody who surfs. They will sit on the shore and wait for the big wave to ride it. But when there isn't a big wave, they save their energy, they take care of themselves, they have fun, they do what they need to do so that they have what it takes to do the big kahuna wave. And I think that's something that many of us as entrepreneurs keep trying to paddle out to something instead of waiting for that wave to come in.
Love it. Love, love, love it. And thank you, Susan. And thank you, Deb. And at the same time, we still got to get on the board and we still got to take the chance that we're going to fall off the board, right? But getting back on the board. And I'm also curious too, Deb, to follow up with what you said is when our bodies say stop, I'd like to invite all of us to turn inward and inquire what are you saying? What's tune into the part of our body because I know that we're experiencing it or feeling it in our body. You all did, right? You felt it in your body, in your neck, in your legs, wherever you felt the feeling of the resistance or the block or the stoppage or whatever. So I invite all of us in the next couple days to tune into what is your body telling you. You know, there's this fantastic book too, is The Body Keeps the Score. So we know our body is the key here also to turning to releasing some of the stops, the blocks, the resistance, all of that, right? Yeah. And listening to your body, as you were saying, Deb. Yeah. 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 Okay. So I want to share one other quick thing. And I'm curious for how many of you already stopping, pausing, noticing what's happening before you decide to make an important post. Before literally, it can take just a minute, or before you decide, I'm going to make some calls today. I'm going to do some outreach today. I'm going to take some action today. That means I need to get out there and be with, potential clients. I need to be out there with people. That perhaps you could stop and pause, resource yourself. What's happening for me? Create a clearer energetic field between you and the other person, right? Hey, you got nothing to lose, right? You got nothing to lose. We've been all doing it the way we've been doing it. This is a new mastery level approach. Okay. All right. Okay. This combined with thing that occurred to me at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night that I want to share with you is, hey, releasing what's in the way. What's in the way and noticing how does it feel in your body? Where do you feel it? And then tuning in to our final point for today. Because again, in the past, we've talked about strategies. How do we reach people? And I'll just maybe present a little slide on this in just a moment. But tying what you want to accomplish, your outcome, your group, your mastermind, your counsel, your next thing you're doing, your course, your offer, whatever it is tying it to a quadruple win. A quadruple win. Okay, this occurred to me. I got a download, so I want to share it with you. This is a way of thinking about before you even make a phone call, before you make a post. Hey, how does what I'm doing next help me personally? See, it's like we have to be conscious when we're doing all this. We can't be on autopilot. Taking a moment, breathing, releasing whatever's in the way. We may think, oh gosh, I don't have the time to do that. Well, you have a couple minutes to do it. Please, it's a practice. Taking a deep breath. Okay, when I think about making this post here, I'm a little anxious about stop, pause, notice what's going on for me in my body. What's
Look at the
noticing for me?
J.
Where am I
He landed
feeling
on the
this?
candlestick.
Pardon me? Ah,
Just noticing the
yes.
J landing on the candlestick. He's like, oh, he's so happy with what I've made for him makes me happy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so, how can with each conversation I prepare for, each post I write, each thing that I'm planning to do is how can this be part of that quadruple win? First, this benefits me, helps with my personal prosperity. Also, number two, this thing that I'm doing, this conversation I want to have, this connection I want to have, it's going to help this client. The work we're going to do is going to help them with their life. So it's a client transformation. The third thing is this ripple effect is the work that I plan to do, that I want to do with this particular human being or this team or this group or whatever it is like, hey, the work we're going to do, the community is impacted. We will never know. You will never know the ripple effect of when that person on the other end of the Zoom line or the phone or in person, like when they're able to transform, you're transforming your relationship, you transform with this other person, you have a sacred bond, and then their community is impacted, their family is impacted. When you help people transform, their relationship with their kids transforms, their spouse, their partners, their community. They're freed up to do things in the community we will never, ever, ever know. And then finally, out of this quadruple win strategy that was given to me as a gift, and I want to share it with you, I am sharing it with you, is hey, the whole world can be impacted. So this is not just a transactional relationship you're building with your clients. No, we get to make a global difference here. So this is not meant to have you say, whoa, this is so big. I don't know what to do. It's such a big thing. But imagine, visualize, picture, pretend, think about that everything that you're doing has this beautiful quadratic equation that you get to prosper, you get to benefit, and the other person that's reading it, listening on the phone with you, they're prospering and benefiting. The community is impacted and the world is impacted. You know the butterfly effect, you know, the wings, the butterfly wings, as it's fluttering its wings in one part of the world, the impact throughout the entire world is felt. But we have to be quiet and tune and conscious enough for that to happen. Okay. So I want to pause for a moment, insights, and then we're going to wrap up about just a little bit of strategy. So this is a different way of looking at it, isn't it? It's a different way of experiencing that, hey, what I'm doing, thinking about, just thinking for a moment, how does this really makes a difference? It can make a difference, and it will, and it does. Yeah. Any comments, questions? This takes courage because the way you've been doing it is the way you've been doing it. The way you've been doing it to make money and to enroll clients and to do the work you're doing, it's all very familiar to you. And I'm asking and inviting you to pause, resource yourself, do it a different way. Okay. I don't know if coaches in general are doing this. I don't think so. I think that that's why they're in the hustling. They're in the working so hard. They don't have a lot of freedom. They want to be a coach, but they're over promising, over. They're working so hard because they don't have this relationship with themselves nor their clients and their communities. Okay. Yeah. Does this feel good to you? That's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So finishing up here. So this is the triple win. You win, the client wins, the community, your community and their community wins. And also the world is changed, you know, and this is so, you know, it could be considered fluffy and airy fairy and woo woo. So I'm going to just say that, hey, we got to have more conversations. Conversations lead to clients and lead to more cash, more money. And of course, tactically, what do we do? Okay. Put together a list of the people that you energetically and emotionally and mentally you'd like to work with, you'd like to have a conversation. Put together, starting today, your warm outreach. Okay. Start with the people who already know, like, and trust you. Okay. Those are your warm folks, you know, putting together a list of 10 people, 20 people, 50, 100, whatever the number is. And I encourage you, we're going to follow up down the road with our more programs about this, but thinking about who are the people, just doing a little chronology. Hey, who are the people that I worked with at this particular company? Who are the people, honestly, that I went to college with? We think that people will not remember us, but guess what? Time is a weird thing. You can pick up the phone and with people that maybe you worked with at a job or the people that you went to college with or you were in a church group with or whatever, it's like time, this time gets compressed. And so starting with a group of people like, and trust. As opposed to starting out with people who do not know you and you don't know them, you don't know this, like cold calls. Gosh, we don't want to do that. Okay. And think about kind of these categories. We've talked about this in the past is clients, colleagues, people in organizations that you're with, associations. And it's just so simple that, hey, you could even start with a direct message. And I'm just going to read this for you. I'm going to follow up with you with the text on this. But hey, I was thinking about you. And hey, maybe it's the brilliant work we did together, or I was just thinking about you. And I just wanted to reach out. And the truth, whatever the truth for you is, hey, I'm reconnecting with some incredible women or I'm incredible people that I've worked with. And I just want to just connect with you because I just want to hear what's going on with you in your world. Just want to connect. Again, we're not looking to connect to sell them anything. No, we're just looking to connect. Okay. And also, I'd love to share, just some things that I'm working on too, of course, because this is reciprocity, right? But we're not there to enroll them in programs. We're just like sharing, hey, and oh, by the way, I started a new group and I'm really excited about it. And then if they say, hey, tell me more, of course you tell them more. But we're not calling, this is not a enrollment. This is not a sales call. It's a reconnection call. And so we're then saying, hey, if you're open to a quick catch-up call, love to hear what's going on for you. And also, what the truth is, hey, I'd like to support you. I'd like to support you. I was remembering the time we worked together, and I realized you came into my mind, and I was thinking about you, and I knew I wanted to reconnect. Okay. And so you could also say, hey, put a link in there about my Calendly, or just reply, I'd love to do that. Okay. So whatever your flavor is of this is just a sample. The key is to start the process, okay? Not to overthink it, all right? And we've got a really great corporate strategy too. We've gone through this many times, but it's just, hey, it's another way of saying, hey, I'm doing research. Corporate would be more research. I'm doing research about X, Y, and Z. Love to speak with you. Then you have a conversation with someone who's in corporate or someone that you've worked with who's still in corporate. So the corporate approach is a little bit more buttoned up, but you're doing research. You want to talk with them about what's happening in their business. And then you let them know that, hey, I'm creating kind of a white paper type of thing without names. Would you like to get a copy of it? Okay. So whatever works for you, use your AI to help you with a nice outreach program. Okay. We're connecting, but we're starting with that beautiful foundation of being resourced. All right. Woo! Ah, anybody need a breath here? Yeah. The key is grounding yourself, anchoring yourself in your why, what's important to you. Why do you want to connect with this other human being, right? Corporations are made up of human beings who make decisions about hiring coaches and consultants. Individuals make decisions as human beings. Okay. We're connecting human to human. All right. And as we complete, I highly recommend, please don't wait for opportunity. Do something today. Okay. Make your list today, refine your list today, put it on a little sheet of paper, a little notepad, whatever it is, get it in your CRM, whatever you do, just start thinking about people. And I'm going to send you a follow up with prompts you can use to prompt you to remember people that you have relationships with. Okay. in your community, in women's groups. You saw them at a luncheon. You've got business cards in your office. I know. Go through those business cards. Okay. All right. And we're all flying higher. We're elevating higher. And of course, a big shout out that on Friday, June the 13th, we are connecting in Dallas. We're going to have an entire day summit about all of the specific strategies that we can use from a space of being resourced. We get to the night before celebrate Susan K. Younger as she's giving a great presentation to the organizational development, the DFW OD group. So we get to be there to support Susan at the Guild and to be able to have kind of a watch party to support you, Susan. So we're gathering for community on Thursday night, and then we're coming together from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a continental breakfast, great lunch, community connection, and you'll leave with a strategy. You'll leave with a specific strategy on what to do next to create more community, more membership, and make more money. Okay. Questions, comments from our time together, and of course, what's your biggest takeaway? My slides are goofed up today. Don't know what happened. Had a little bit of a little tech gremlin here. Not a problem. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Curious
It's
what
a
your
new language.
Exactly. It was really weird, wasn't it? It was something communicating, and I read it as, what's your biggest takeaway? Yeah. What's your biggest takeaway? Yeah, curious. Jump in, share
Chop,
what
chop, get busy.
Yeah, there you go. Love you, dear. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. Yes, excellent. 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 Good. Carol, biggest takeaway. Molly, biggest takeaway. And
Ooh, I think it is having a new path to come at our work in a
thank you.
different way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for people to feel our hearts, to feel our heart. Yeah. Not just our headspace and the details, but feel our heart. And doesn't the world need more heart right now?
Well, I'm just going to say that my big takeaway was to get out of my head a little bit.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. Yes. Great. Hey, we got to use our head, but we also engage with our heart, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Deb, jump in if you'd like to. Jillian, jump in if you'd like to. Molly, your biggest takeaway from our time together.
I can go. So for me, it's being more aware of my body and the reactions that I'm having. So that's one thing. But then also like reaching out to like old coworkers and
Hmm.
yeah, there'd be some fun conversations I haven't had in a few years. That would be kind of nice to connect. So it's giving me some thought. So good stuff.
Excellent. Thank you, Jillian. Delighted. Good, good, good. Yes. All of this takes courage, right? Yeah. Taking the next step. Good. Anything else before we complete? Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, ladies. Loved every moment of this. And let's pay it forward. We're growing. And feel free, jump on my Calendly. If you have questions, if you'd like to have your own strategy session, I'd love to do that for you. Okay, got that. Yep. And Molly is saying her biggest takeaway was noticing and then shifting the energy. Yeah, yep, very good. Of course, great. Okay, ladies, if you would take yourself off mute and let's see. Let's say go for it. Right? Let's just say go for it.
Go for it.
All right, go for it. Love
Go
it.
for
Go
it.
for it.
Woo-hoo. Go for it. Okay. Mwah.
All right.
Bye for now. We'll see you very soon. Okay. Mwah. Go for it.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.